A live TV debate. Two leaders. One unexpected confrontation. On one side, Donald Trump, billionaire, former U.S. president, known for dominating every room he enters. On the other, a young African captain, Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, and a rising voice from the heart of Africa. No one expected what would happen next. Not the audience. Not the media. Not even Trump himself. When Ibrahim Traoré spoke, the world stopped to listen. This is the moment that changed everything. Ibrahim Traoré is not your typical world leader. Born in 1988, he rose from the ranks of the military to become the president of Burkina Faso after leading a coup in 2022. But unlike others before him, Traoré wasn't driven by power, he was driven by purpose. Disillusioned with foreign interference and frustrated by decades of corruption, he promised to give Burkina Faso back to its people. At just 34, he became Africa's youngest head of state, instantly gaining attention across the continent. His fiery speeches against Western exploitation and his bold Pan-African stance made him a symbol of resistance. To millions of Africans, he's not just a leader, he's a revolution in motion. The world watched with anticipation as a historic global leadership summit was broadcast live. Among the high-profile guests were two names that couldn't be more different: Donald Trump, the outspoken former president of the United States, and Ibrahim Traoré, the bold, rising leader from West Africa. The tension was electric. Cameras rolled, lights blazed, and millions tuned in worldwide. What started as a panel on global stability and security quickly turned into something more personal. Trump, known for his blunt style, directed his attention toward Africa, questioning aid, leadership, and direction. It wasn't long before his comments turned toward Burkina Faso. He smirked, challenged Traoré's legitimacy, and hinted that leaders like him were only destabilizing their own people. The stage was set. All eyes turned to the young captain. Would he respond, or stay silent? The silence after Traoré's words lasted only seconds, but it felt like the world paused. Then came a wave of applause, first scattered, then thunderous. Cameras captured stunned faces, whispered conversations, even a rare expression of uncertainty from Trump himself. Within minutes, the clip went viral. Newsrooms around the world scrambled to replay the moment. Social media lit up with hashtags like #Traoré versus Trump and #AfricaRising. In cities from Ouagadougou to Johannesburg, young Africans filled streets, celebrating the man who had finally said what so many had felt for so long. Analysts called it a diplomatic earthquake. Western commentators debated whether Traoré had crossed a line, while African voices proudly declared that he had redrawn one. What started as a televised panel had exploded into a global shift, a moment where power, pride, and truth collided in front of the world. That night, long after the cameras were turned off and the applause had faded, one truth remained. The world had witnessed a turning point. Ibrahim Traoré didn't just defend his nation. He defended a continent's dignity. His words weren't just for Trump. They were for every African child told they were less, for every country dismissed as dependent, and for every voice silenced by centuries of exploitation. This wasn't about ego. It was about identity. And in that moment, on that stage, a young leader reminded the world that Africa no longer needs permission to speak. It has already found its voice. The only question now is, who's truly listening?